Welcome, everyone, to our Elevating Innovation series in partnership with Microsoft, where we explore what Microsoft's ecosystem partners are creating, learning, and where they are going next at the intersection of culture and innovation for a tech-driven society. Microsoft's Black Partner Growth Initiative, known as BPGI, it helps tech partners use its resources to succeed. So think of it, everyone, as a business booster offering access to training, community, and partners. And we have an exciting group of panelists, and I'm going to get to them in a second. But for those of you all who are not familiar with me just yet, I am Corey Hale, the CEO of Culture Banks, where we create business news for hip hop culture. And we're going to unpack the importance of elevating innovation through secure IT solutions. So thank everyone for joining us today. And please know that you are the key to amplifying these Microsoft partners who are creating unique solutions and services for customers globally. Today, we're going to explore their journeys and learn more about how they are fueling their company's growth. But I'd like to start by having Regina Johnson join me. She leads partner community engagement at Microsoft, working closely with CEOs of small to medium-sized tech companies, all of whom are innovation-driven leaders in the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program. Regina, thanks so much for joining us today in this Elevating Innovation series to really help connect the dots between partnership and innovation.
I love it. Corey, it's always a pleasure to be connected in any space that you are in. I am excited to be here, especially alongside many of the entrepreneurs you're going to highlight, not only today, but just in general in this series. You talked about innovation and partnership. I also always like to start when I'm thinking about innovation with mission. And so many people know the Microsoft mission. It is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And that's pretty lofty, right? And so we cannot do this in isolation. We have to do it in ecosystem building. And this is why the company cares deeply about partnership. That means collaborating with entrepreneurs, with the companies who we call internally partners. And so this is really the main focus here and why I'm excited about this series because you have to really be thinking about partners. They're already building solutions, they're already building services, supporting customers. They are solving real world problems. And so the reason why we collaborate is because we have a shared commitment to customer success. And so I know this series is going to be talking about some of the partners, about how they are really thinking about impact and how they're thinking about moving forward. And I'm excited to be able to have the world hear a little bit about their story. That's what we call internally the voice of partner. Stories matter. And so you mentioned even at the beginning, how people should be thinking about this. Really think about their stories. If this inspires you, think about what you can build. If you are interested in working with them, please reach out to these entrepreneurs you're going to be highlighting because the stories are powerful. So that's what I'm excited about.
Yes, I'm super excited as well, especially as we continue this journey and this Elevating Innovation series. Thank you so much, Regina, for really sharing, about the broader partnership vision and innovation that you guys hold very near and dear to your core focus at Microsoft. Thanks, Regina.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, let's jump into our conscious conversation around elevating innovation with our excellent panelists today, including Joseph Henderson, who is the president and CEO of ECF Data, a company delivering cutting edge IT solutions, particularly within the healthcare industry. With over 2 decades of experience in designing and leading IT and cybersecurity projects, Joseph has established himself with the contribution and success of projects for renowned Fortune 500 companies such as Amgen Pharmaceuticals, WellPoint Health, DirecTV, ExxonMobil, and Adobe, among many others. Helped to underscore his expertise and has established Joseph as a trusted advisor and strategist. Also joining the panel is Marcus Wilson, the CEO of Intelligis, a company delivering effortless IT security solutions to small and mid-sized organizations, along with educational institutions, helping them stay secure, connected, and productive. His career, though, started in an untraditional manner in the U.S. Air Force as a secure communications cryptographic specialist, which I'm not exactly sure what that means, Marcus. However, we'll get to that later. But during his time in service, Marcus received the Air Force Humanitarian Medal for community service during Hurricane Hugo. He is a seasoned IT leader with decades of experience and certifications. Through his work with Intelligis, Marcus is committed to serving the company's clients with the same dedication and passion in which he proudly served our country. And rounding out our panel today is none other than Exadian Amasi, who is the president and CEO of BizTech Fusion, a global IT and business consulting firm, providing tailored solutions that align technology with strategic business goals. Prior to BizTech Fusion, he was working at BT as a senior consultant, as well as a senior systems engineer at Extra Team. Exadian is a serial entrepreneur who previously founded the nonprofit Reach to respond and support the universal call to provide innovative solutions to address social and racial injustice, education, along with economic inequality concerns facing the most isolated and vulnerable communities. So to all three of you, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation today.
Thank you, Corey, and thank you, Regina, as well. Really appreciate you guys' support and advocacy of all our efforts and what we're doing in the tech community.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, perfect. I want to start off with this question, which is really for all three of you, to make sure that our audience has a deeper knowledge and understanding about exactly how your companies operate and what really inspired you to get on this path. So I'd like for you guys to tell us about your individual paths to creating these tech-driven companies, along with the unique space you all operate in. Exadian, I'll start with you.
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. For me, I feel like I've always had admired the way that tech innovation impacted the lives of human beings in terms of enhancing the capabilities. So in a very real sense, only you could nearly create anything that's imaginable. So that's what really attracted me to this space. But I also feel like I'm got an obligation for the people that preceded us, that opened the doors that we are enjoying walking through now. So I just want to, in a way, leave it in a better way than we found it in when we first came.
I love that. Joseph, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Yeah, I got into it a little bit differently. Actually, I lost a bet in college is how I kind of got to the tech space. Initially, in college, I wanted to be a toy maker. So I was going down the mechanical engineering path and lost the bet around computers. And I'm pretty driven. And so I tend to learn everything about something once I focus on it, being that singular focus of mindset. And so I was driven into the tech space that way. And then grew within the tech space. Found out I was pretty good at, particularly around deployments, particularly around Microsoft solution deployments early on in my career, through an internship and then through a full-time job. And then just grew as Microsoft grew in the communications collaboration space. I grew with the organization.
Wow, I wonder exactly what the bet was that you lost, but we can get into that later when we have time. Marcus, I want to throw it over to you. How did you get into this?
Well, I started out of high school. I went to the U.S. Air Force, as you mentioned, right? I was a secure communication specialist, is crypto specialist. That involves secure communication, flight navigational systems, etc. So during the Air Force, the tech was around me. The first computer, the 8286, the 8386, I had an opportunity to work on computers like that during my time in the military. So getting out of the military, despite some bumps in the road when I first got to Atlanta, I would eventually just plant my feet, and I love technology. I felt like technology was the way to innovate. I felt like technology would be the future, and it was my passion to pursue certifications, and Intelligis started.
I love that. So you already knew you had this deep passion, even before you decided to serve our country. And then after your time, in the military, you decided to pursue this own wave of entrepreneurship and really build up an IT company, in which you already had a great, intense, like, deal of information and knowledge around. That's pretty impressive. I love that all of you guys came to this from different angles, and then now you're all Microsoft partners, and through their various programs. However, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that these are, three men who live all across the country. I think we have DC, Georgia, and I'm forgetting one other
Las
state.
Vegas.
Las Vegas, there we go. Yes, from all across the country, right, who are coming together, and really building the future for the tech-driven society that we are all going to be a part of, and we need more leaders like you. Xadian, I'm going to bring this next question specifically to you, and I want to give a little background data to everyone watching around the global kind of unstructured data solution market, which was sized at around $29.5 billion last year. However, that number is set to expand over the next decade up to $94 billion. That's according to a report from Business Research Insights. And so, Xadian, since your company focuses on this converging of data solutions, what industry over this kind of next decade time frame that I've thrown out there do you think is going to benefit the most from this converging of these data solutions? And how does BizTech Fusion tailor its solutions to meet your clients' needs?
Well, first of all, it's impressive. That's going to be 3x growth, it sounds like, in the next 9 years in that specific area of the market. But I would say any industry that deals with vast amounts of complex, nonlinear data that needs or demands rather, integration and live, real-time, predictive analysis would benefit from that. I would say the type of industries that come to mind that we deal with, I would think number one of us, like the medical industry, so biotech, genomic sequencing, for example, and also day trading and sports betting, some areas that are emerging markets for us right now that we're supporting in our area. So I would say that those are the primary industries that stand out to mind. But our approach to it is really focusing on the vital, unchanging needs of these businesses. So in my mind, it's interacting with the ecosystems that they support. So dealing with their suppliers, their patients, customers, or what have you. We focus on making sure that is optimized so that they can enhance their productivity and collaboration.
I love that. I mean, all of this is so fascinating because of the many different sectors that all of your companies are able to touch. It's like all of these kind of tentacles that you're able to reach into. I mean, you did name everything from like biotech to sports betting. Like that's, I mean, such a wide, vast range. So thank you for sharing that. Joseph, I'm going to come to you next because your company's IT and cybersecurity projects have really set it apart in the market, especially with, as I mentioned, during your bio, with some of the Fortune 500 organizations that you work with. Can you share some examples of how ECF Data leverages tech solutions to drive transformative experiences that include the deployment and full implementation for your clients?
Yeah, it ranges. So we support the entire Microsoft ecosystem of cloud products, ranging from biz apps to infrastructure to modern work to security. As of late, things that come to mind in terms of data transformation come to mind is around AI. Everyone talks about AI and the various forms of it. And so we've been doing a lot of AI projects to help transform organizations. Particularly, as he mentioned, the biopharmaceutical space, we have a few large clients in that space. And so we've done application development and then rapid AI or Azure OpenAI deployments using various models to help facilitate growth in various areas. One of the projects comes to mind is around research and development, and then how we've used AI models to help speed along and provide efficiencies in that research and doing a deep analysis analytics around various projects. in that space.
Okay, so you guys are touching things from AI and across a plethora of different clients all around the Microsoft suite of products in the cloud space. So it seems like you kind of have your company's hands, so to speak, in a lot of different buckets as well. Sharing that. Marcus, I want to come to you because when I think about IT solutions in general, it can be complex for some companies, especially those small and medium-sized businesses. And when I think about navigating, right, the complexities of IT security solutions, while really trying to make sure that operations remain efficient, it can be extremely challenging. I'd love for you to share how Intelligence approaches this concept to really help businesses stay connected and productive.
That's a great question. I would have to say one word: education. Internal education to our team, educating our clients is key. It doesn't matter about the sophistication of the tools we use, whether it be multi-factor authentication and endpoint threat detection and response. It doesn't matter if the end user clicks on a button, right? And that button takes them somewhere and they're not educated enough to understand what they're typing in or where they're typing it, then it's a problem. So we spend a lot of time educating. Yes, we're using the latest tools, but nothing is bulletproof. So therefore, there's always a gap. There's always a hole when it comes to security. So being the fact of coming out of the military in a security career, protecting the country, there's always a gap. So you're always in continuous improvement, continuous education to continue to get better. And that is a lot of research. It's a lot of reading, a lot of joining groups that help us understand the latest threats out there and the latest tools to defend against them, including AI. AI is the next part. We're now rapidly developing security threats with AI. So you have to fight AI with AI. And that's some of the stuff that we're continuously working on today.
You have to fight AI with AI. I'm not even exactly sure how one goes about doing that, but I just want to pick up on something that you said around the education, around the stuff that your company is doing. So when you're going out and you're getting all this education, staying at the forefront of, the possible threats that are out there, are there specific ways though that you're bringing that information back to your clients?
Absolutely. Well, you want to have like one-on-one. So every month we have a business review. Some companies have quarterly business reviews, but we're having a business review with our clients every single month. And that is educating them on the latest threats. Here's what's going on. Here's what you should watch out for. Educating them by doing email education, right? Helping them not click on things, such as I get an email in. Why should you not click on that email? Did you look at the display name versus the email address behind it? We're educating our clients. We're spending a ton of time doing that. And it requires resources, but that's important because now we have a security first approach. You don't have a choice. With threats happening every split second, security has to be number one right now in every organization.
Yes, it absolutely does. I'm grateful that we have companies like yours that are able to provide, the background information, because entrepreneurs, I'm an entrepreneur myself, but I don't know a ton about IT security and cyber threats, or not even just a ton about all things artificial intelligence. So we need all of your companies out here to help stabilize and create a safe ecosystem and for this tech-driven society. All right, to round out the questions right now, I'm going to throw this last one out to all three of you again, because we are seeing the needle move when it comes to the importance of IT security to really power a tech-driven society. But I'd love to know how you all collaborate with other tech companies, even if that's amongst yourselves or just other organizations, nonprofits, even government entities. I know some of you work with educational institutions to drive broader systemic change that keeps you optimistic about this secure IT solution space going forward. So Marcus, I'll throw this one back to you.
That's another great question. Well, who do we partner with? So partnering with other companies that may be better. I'll just say this. When you say security, to me, you're saying the universe. I need to now break it down. we cannot possibly support the universe. So being laser focused is very important. Partnering with other companies that are laser focused in their area of expertise is very important. So choosing a certain area, such as incident response, or disaster backup and disaster recovery, you can't possibly do everything in security. It's impossible. So the need to partner today is very important. Also, if you look at, again, different certifications, we chose to use CMMC certification, which is a military grade cybersecurity maturity model certification. It's a military grade certification. I'm ex-military. And who's going to get mad when you go to a client and say, we're going to implement security grade, military grade security for your company? I think it's just a great baseline that we're using. So we start with a baseline and we go from there.
All right, I love that, Exadian. I'm going to throw it over to you. Who are you partnering with from your company, and what is really keeping you optimistic about this space going forward?
Well, first off, I want to piggyback off of something that Marcus said. I think staying informed and current is key. And we adopt this defense in depth approach to IT security, which means that it's a cyclical wheel where we're constantly securing, monitoring, improving, testing, and just advancing it, because threat actors and folks that are taking malicious attempts at hacking into infrastructures, they're also evolving. But I like to just be connected in terms of cross-pollination with our peers in the industry in various areas. Like Marcus said, this universe, or this ecosystem and symphony that we're pulling from. But I've actually worked with Marcus, at Intelligence and his company with some of the advanced complex security needs of the clients that we support. But I'm also always, attending conferences like Microsoft Build, Ignite, and things like that to network with and identify other partners and their solutions that might be able to help us in this critical area.
Okay, so there's already some cross collaboration going on amongst just you all right now that are on this panel. So thank you for sharing that. Joseph, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Yeah, similar to what the gentleman said, but we take the conversation similar to what Marcus said around CMMC, and we start the conversation with cybersecurity as well as with cyber compliance. And cyber compliance is generally the regulatory governing body of a particular industry. So like you've heard of HIPAA, CMMC, particularly for defense contractors, et cetera. So we work with those and try to marry the two, right? That the security is more on the physical side, the compliance is a regulatory body. And we try to merge those together to come out with best of breed solutions for those customers in the particular industry that they serve. And then work with partners that can also marry those type of solutions to that particular industry to give the customer what they need to satisfy their regulatory compliance issues, as well as their cybersecurity challenges.
Corey, where's the team? I want to say this one thing too. With both of my fellow team members, we are always certifying. So Exadian, Joseph, our companies, we push certification. It's mandatory. So in order to do this high level work, you have to have skilled individuals. Therefore, certification has become mandatory. And during that certification process, you're getting a wealth of information just going through the training.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, the program that we're in with Microsoft, and then it's the Microsoft Partner Network as a whole, to advance and even to become part of it, they've made training a core component of it. And then to reach various levels within that ecosystem of partnership with Microsoft, you have to keep specializing, getting advanced specializations, et cetera. And that's all requiring training up your folks on your internal team.
Yeah.
Right. And all of those things ultimately, I was sorry, Exadian, to cut you off, it's just helping your own individual companies continue to grow and scale as well.
Yeah, that's true. And just to add on to it, I wanted to just show some appreciation to Joseph and also Marcus as well, because I think that we do have a internal knowledge share and kind of upliftment of each other's businesses. So Joseph has been instrumental in helping us try to achieve this direct CSP Tier 1 status with Microsoft. And I was so I feel blessed that I had them, you know, as some foresight guidance to help us get through that. So, you know, in addition to the upskilling and training that Microsoft requires for us to get recognition as partners, you know, we also have our own, you know, kind of
Yep.
internal educational network.
Correct. As a part of the BAPG program provided by Microsoft, with Regina as the head of, that brought us all together. It's been influential over these last few years, and work with these people that's on the phone as well as the people that's in our cohort. It's been great.
Absolutely. Kyle and Regina have been great. Kyle Kramer is not here, but you know, he's been great. He's he's over our group. He's been instrumental to being an advocate for us. So it's very important. As Xavier mentioned, we spend a lot of time, we're working together and we're figuring things out because we now can partner and lean on each other. Joseph and I have talked about doing things together because we can't do everything. You know, as our small businesses, we want to be agile and nimble. And what that does is that requires us to be a team and rely on each other's basically core skill sets to get there.
So I love that. Even though you guys are Microsoft partners, you are partners amongst yourselves. But Microsoft seems like it played a role in helping, at least to maybe facilitate bringing you guys together initially to eventually continue doing what you're doing right now, which is growing and scaling your company. So thank you so much for answering all of these questions. But before I let you go, I have to do something that I know is a fan favorite for all of our Culture Banks audience members, and it is around our rapid fire questions. So what happens now is that I'm going to ask you each a question, actually 2 questions each, and you can just say the first thing that comes to your mind so that our audience can get to know you better as people, as individuals and entrepreneurs. Are you guys good?
We're ready.
All right. Well, with this one, first one to the rapid fire section is none other than Xadian. I'd love for you to tell us what motivates you to keep going and why.
Well, just to demonstrate and prove out our excellence in our community. I would say when I look at peers like Joseph and Marcus and seeing what they're doing, they motivate me and they drive me, as well as what I see with Regina and Kyle. I just want to just be a success story for them. So that's what motivates me and drives me to continue.
All right, perfect. Joseph, we're coming to you. What are 3 skills people need to be a successful entrepreneur?
I would say consistency, persistence, and discipline. Probably the 3 that come to mind. You have to be consistent in your work and your output to customers and to your staff. You got to have discipline to see things through the end. You got to be persistent. You know, getting up, persisting for it, moving forward. No 2 days are the same in my organization. I always tell people, and so you got to have the drive to want to get through it and be persistent. I'm pretty sure our entrepreneurs can sympathize with that or empathize with that in terms of those 3.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for sharing those 3. Marcus, on over to you. What time of day are you most productive?
You should know that, being ex-military. First, bright and early, the wee hours of the morning. The phone is not ringing.
Let's get specific. What time are we start? What time can the Batmobile start accepting phone calls and text messages?
I'll get up between 5 and 5:30. So like they say, right, in the military, you do more before 8 a.m. before some people do all day. That's true, right? Because we're getting work done. As you say, Xavier he's shaking his head. We're getting work done while the phone's not ringing, the email's not dinging, because you can focus, right? Once that email starts ringing and the phone starts ringing, right, you're now have to deal with all the competing priorities that come in the day. So I love to get up early and start my day.
All right, I love that. Xadian, back to you. What is your favorite life hack?
My favorite hack is basically like the law of attraction and also like present moment mindfulness. So I think when you're immersed in that, you can make anything happen.
Okay, I like that. Joseph, back over to you. What is the one app that you cannot live without?
Probably Microsoft Teams at this point. You know, I do pretty much all my communications through Microsoft Teams in some form or fashion, whether that's chat, phone calls, conferences, etc. So definitely Teams is probably my one app at this point.
Okay, and Marcus, back over to you. What is the one book that changed your life? If you can come up with just one, because most people want to throw out like 2 or 3, but I'm really trying to keep it to 1.
I'm gonna say The 7 Habits highly effective people.
Okay.
Because if you think about, there are a couple of things that come to mind. Put first things first. Being focused. That means not being all over the place, right? And then think win-win would be the two that come to mind, right? As far as the habits. Think win-win. When you're dealing with any type of engagement, whether it be a partner-to-partner collaboration, whether it be dealing with a client, there cannot be a win-loss. It doesn't work. It will bruise and hurt the relationship. So we're always thinking win-win. And even sometimes, right, even if it's a loss, then both lose, you still come out licking your wounds. But at the same time, one person doesn't come away or a company doesn't come away feeling like they didn't make out and the other person did. So that's it.
All right. The 7 principles for highly successful people. That is a very good book. This is our final rapid fire question, and it is to all 3 of you because we are a company that does like to make sure we include music with all of our articles so that our audience has a more authentic connection with high level business news. But we've got to know what song is currently on repeat on your playlist. Xavier, I'm going to start this one with you.
Well, the song that's on repeat on my playlist is this song called Free from an artist named Black.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And Black is actually one of my favorite artists. So I'm glad that that's on repeat on your playlist. Joseph, over to you. What song is on repeat on your playlist?
Rich Spirit by Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, okay. Look at you, a K-Dot fan over here. Love that. Marcus, over to you. What song are you constantly listening to?
Understand the things I've been through. Optimistic by Sounds of Blackness. Keep your head to the sky. All
Okay.
right.
Okay. No, I mean, it's a bit more old school. So.
Old school. I'm old school. I'm 54, so hey.
It's still a good song. It's still a good song. I'm not taking away from the song.
I could have said some Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, we just
gonna keep in a certain decade of yesteryear then.
Hey, I love Corey's.
Timber is everybody's jam. All right. No, thank you guys so much for taking the time to share more about your journey, about your companies, and the great work that you're doing. Please continue building up these great organizations. We greatly appreciate it. And for everyone watching, of course, we will have more of these Elevating Innovation series coming up throughout the year. So stay tuned to Culture Banks for more. Have a good day.